Every country on Earth is drowning in debt. The United States owes more than $35 trillion. Japan owes over $9 trillion. Across the globe, total debt now exceeds $300 trillion, 3 times more than the world produces in a year. But here's the paradox that doesn't make sense. If every country is in debt, who is the money owed to? The answer isn't just about numbers, it's about power. Because the people who truly own the debt own the system. After World War II, world leaders gathered at a quiet resort in New Hampshire to rebuild a shattered global economy. It was called Bretton Woods. The new system linked all major currencies to the US dollar, and the dollar itself to gold. For a while it worked. The world trusted the dollar because it was backed by something real. But in 1971, that changed forever. When President Richard Nixon ended the dollar's tie to gold, money stopped being something you could hold and became something you owe. From that moment, the global economy transformed into a debt-based system. Every dollar, euro, or yen came into existence not by being printed, but by being borrowed. Governments spend more than they collect, so they issue bonds, essentially IOUs, to investors. Central banks buy those bonds, creating new money out of thin air. Private banks then multiply that money through lending, each loan creating a new deposit that didn't exist before. It's a self-replicating loop. Debt creates money. Money fuels debt. The system must grow or it collapses. Think of it like musical chairs. There's always one less seat than players. The game only works while the music keeps playing. When it stops, someone defaults. But it's not just governments playing this game. Households, corporations, and nations are all part of the same debt chain. Your mortgage, your credit card, your student loan, they all feed the same machine. The world keeps borrowing to pay the interest on yesterday's promises. Infinite debt, chasing infinite growth. And when the system starts to crack, history shows us what happens next. In the 1980s, Latin America was swallowed by a debt crisis. Entire nations effectively repossessed by international creditors. In 2008, the world's biggest banks collapsed under their own leverage, nearly taking the global economy with them. And in 2020, when the pandemic hit, governments printed trillions more just to keep the illusion alive. Each time, the solution was the same: more debt, more money conjured from promises, stacking higher than before. Meanwhile, ownership of that debt has quietly concentrated into fewer and fewer hands. Institutions like BlackRock, Vanguard, global banks, and central banks now control much of the world's debt markets. They don't just own the shares, they own the obligations that entire nations are built upon. They are, in effect, the creditors of the modern world. This system has consequences we live with every day. Inflation silently erodes your savings, while asset prices soar. The wealthy, those who own the debt, grow richer, as the rest struggle to stay afloat. Every paycheck, every tax dollar, every loan payment trickles upward through a system designed to reward the lender, not the laborer. Debt has become our invisible ruler, a force shaping elections, wars, and even personal dreams. It decides which countries can invest, which can't, and which collapse under pressure. It's not just money we owe anymore. It's control. Every empire in history has fallen for the same reason. Debt grows faster than real wealth. From Rome to Britain to modern America, the pattern repeats. And today's global empire is no exception. It just hides its chains behind balance sheets and digital ledgers. So the question isn't who we owe anymore, it's how long the system can last before the debt that owns the world finally comes due. Because in the end, our money is no longer wealth. It's a promise built on promises. And one day, when the music stops, someone will be left holding the world's biggest IOU. So tell me, who do you think really owns the world's debt?